Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something pretty revolutionary, a way to think about happiness not as some big mystery, but as a simple, powerful formula you can actually use for yourself. This is all based on the amazing work of Dr. Alphonsus Obeke-Diwana. We're all trying to figure out this happiness thing, right? But what if the way we've been trying to measure it on a huge global scale is just wrong? Let's kick things off by looking at those official rankings you always see in the news. So get this, for 6 years in a row, Finland has been named the happiest country on Earth. But when you dig into the data, a really different picture starts to emerge. Finland has one of the highest rates of antidepressant use in the developed world, and its suicide rate? It's more than double that of Afghanistan, a country ranked as the unhappiest. Something here just doesn't add up. It shows that these big national competitions are totally missing what's going on with us as individuals. And that right there gets to the absolute heart of it. Happiness isn't some kind of Olympic sport between countries. It's deeply, deeply personal. So what we really need is a way to measure our own journey, a tool to understand our own well-being over time without playing the comparison game with anyone else. Okay, so to build that personal tool, we first have to understand the two big forces that are always at play. The first one is what this framework calls hunger. And no, we're not just talking about food here. This is about the 5 primal inborn drives that we all share from the day we're born. Think of them as our factory settings. First up is our hunger for inclusion and acknowledgement. You know that feeling? It's that deep, gut-level need to belong, to be seen, and to feel like we matter to our group. It's why a little kid yells, "Hey, watch this!" And it's why we all crave a little recognition for a job well done. Next, there's the hunger for intimacy and trusted companionship. And this is way more than just romance. It's about having those real, deep connections. It's the drive that makes us find friends who have our back and partners we can truly trust. It's about that need to love and to feel loved in return. And then, of course, we've got the most fundamental hunger of all, the one for food and comfort. This is our survival instinct, plain and simple. It's what drives us to find food, a safe place to sleep, and to just feel secure in our bodies. Now, our hunger for information and answers, this is what makes us so, well, human. It's that natural curiosity that fuels a toddler's endless stream of why questions and what pushes scientists to explore the edges of the universe. We are just wired to want to know things and figure it all out. And finally, there's the hunger for continuity and certainty. We're always thinking about the future, and we crave a sense of stability. We want reassurance that things are going to be okay. This is what motivates us to make plans, to save money, and to find belief systems that give us a sense of security. All right, so those are our inborn hungers, our universal built-in needs. Now let's flip the coin and look at the other side of the equation, the personal assets we actually build and grow throughout our lives. This is hope, and it's built from 5 really distinct sources. Hope always starts from the inside. Our intrinsic assets are our own inner strengths. Our self-esteem, our resilience, our courage. It's that quiet confidence that tells you, hey, no matter what life throws at me, I can handle it. This is the absolute foundation of hope. Hope also comes from the people we surround ourselves with. Our human family assets are all about the strength we get from our relationships, the love from our family, the backup from our friends, the understanding from our colleagues. Just knowing you've got people in your corner is a huge source of hope. Next up are economic assets. Now, hold on. This is not about being rich. It's about the feeling of having enough. It's that sense of security that comes from knowing you can cover your basic needs. That feeling of, I'm okay, I have enough. That is a critical source of hope. Think of our educational assets as the tools in our personal toolbox. All the knowledge, skills, and experiences we pick up along the way give us the confidence to take on life's challenges. The more you know and the more you can do, the more hopeful you tend to feel. And finally, we have spiritual assets. Now, this can be your core beliefs, your personal faith, or even just your ethical code. Whatever it is that gives your life meaning, purpose, and a sense of peace. That connection to something bigger than yourself can provide a really deep and lasting sense of hope. So, there we have it. On one side, we've got our hungers, our innate deficits or needs. And on the other, we have our hope, the assets we build to feel secure. So what on earth happens when you put these two powerful forces together? And here it is. This is the core idea. Happiness isn't some fixed destination. It's a balance. This formula suggests that your happiness is a direct ratio, your total perceived hope divided by your total perceived hunger. It's this dynamic dance between the assets you feel you have and the needs you're feeling right now. This simple little division problem gives us a really cool new metric, the Personal Happiness Index, or PHI. You can think of it like your own personal emotional stock ticker. It's a single number that reflects your state of well-being in any given moment, and it's all based on your own assessment of your life. Okay, this is a really fascinating theory, but how do we actually put it to work? How can we use this formula to get a better handle on our own journey and, live a better life? Well, the process is actually surprisingly simple. First, you just take a moment to assess your 5 sources of hope. Maybe you rate each one on a scale from 1 to 10. Then you do the exact same thing for your 5 hungers, gauging how intense they feel right now. Finally, you just divide your total hope score by your total hunger score, and boom, you have your personal happiness index. And this quote just brilliantly sums up the entire philosophy here. This bit of wisdom is over 2,000 years old, and it reminds us that happiness is an inside job. It's all about how you see yourself, not how other people see you. And I really want to emphasize this because it's the most important part. This tool is not for comparing your score to your friend's score or anyone else's. No way. The real power of the PHI is using it to track your own journey. When you track your own score over time, you can start to see patterns and understand exactly how your life choices are affecting your own personal well-being. And you can see how the potential here is just huge. For you and me, it's an incredible tool for self-reflection. But just imagine it in the hands of professionals. Therapists and coaches could use it to zero in on areas where a client really needs help. Even HR departments could use it to genuinely support their employees' well-being. It's a real game changer. So what I hope you take away from all this is a brand new lens for looking at your own well-being. Happiness isn't some destination you finally arrive at. It's a ratio that you can actively work on. The question is no longer just how can I be happy, but instead, how will I raise my ratio? Will you focus on dialing down your hungers? Or will you put your energy into building up your assets and boosting your sources of hope? The power, as you can see, is totally in your hands.